Welcome back to Combat Sports Weekly. We're joined by a couple of panelists, familiar faces here. First, James Lindemuth of 610, The Sports Animal. Where can people listen to you?
Every Thursday, 5:35 on 610. Make sure to check out On the Mic with Mike Adams, Saturday mornings at 11 as well. And before that, I think you can listen to this gentleman's show, too.
Yeah. Micah Frankel, 107.5 DC Life on Fox Sports Radio, and Cage Minds MMA. Welcome.
And Red Menace TV. I am everywhere trying to be busy, and that radio show is on Saturday mornings right before On the Mic with Mike Adams.
People can't miss you.
You get around.
Yeah, you do get around.
Trying to make a career out of this.
So, guys, welcome. Let's jump right into the roundtable. Right off the bat, I mean, as of this recording, obviously this afternoon, tomorrow, obviously this Wednesday afternoon when we're recording this, we don't have full details yet, but Jose Aldo has apparently suffered a rib injury. We don't know if it's fractured, we don't know if it's broken, but a lot of reports are that it's fractured. What do you think of him possibly being out of the most hyped UFC fight ever in what feels like?
So wherever the Fertittas and Dana White, where they probably dropped to their knees, started hitting their head against the wall, maybe even wept a couple tears. Conor McGregor started writing a new poem of how to talk trash, calling him out for faking this. And somewhere in Sacramento in New Jersey, there were two big parties, and Frankie Edgar and Chad Mendes were on their phones as fast as they could, blowing up Dana White, I want this fight, I want this fight, I want this fight, I want this fight.
Do we have that poem anywhere? Is that out yet?
I don't have the Irish meme yet, but we'll see it coming. I'm sure there'll be a song of him for
Is it a limerick?
Yeah.
James, how disappointed are you?
You know, I'm bated breath, I guess is what I would say, because Dana White's already been on Twitter saying that people need just to calm down and to relax, and that the fight has not been canceled. Now, granted, that's probably just gamesmanship while they search to either A, find a replacement, or B, just cancel the fight altogether and figure out what they're going to do with the card. I don't know if I've had a cracked rib before. I'm not a UFC fighter, wouldn't claim to be, never have been. I could barely breathe, barely walk. I mean, it's terrible. If it's really cracked, he doesn't have any business being in a fight.
Who can jump in at the last second to take this fight? Who would?
Frankie Edgar has said 18 days notice. He put it out there right away. I'm going to do it. I'm going to jump in there. And my money would be on if that rib's really cracked and his training partner's crying that he hurt Aldo like that, and they're talking as serious as it is. I'm guessing we're getting Edgar versus against Conor McGregor. That would be my bet.
I don't know about your thoughts, but to me, I'm just as hyped whether it goes Edgar versus, of course, McGregor, or McGregor versus Aldo.
Well, and I think the common thought is that we just want to see Conor McGregor fight, and nothing against Jose Aldo, but Conor McGregor has been the driving force behind this fight, as far as the propaganda goes. So yeah, we want to see him fight. I want to see Jose Aldo go if he can. Now, I don't want him to go in there and then there's an excuse afterwards. Say he does lose to Conor, and then it's like, oh, well, the rib really was cracked. That doesn't do anybody any good. So if you're hurt, you're hurt. Take some time off and come back and, get your title back.
All right. Before the next topic, just one word response. Who wins, Edgar or McGregor?
Edgar.
McGregor.
Oh, you guys are flipping opposite on those. I think it's a toss-up. So we'll jump right into our next topic, which I don't know how thrilled you guys are talked about, but Kimbo Slice versus Ken Shamrock at Bellator 138. A lot of people feel, they're questioning whether maybe the fight was rigged. It didn't look as professional as it should have, or it could have been. You have Joe Rogan also saying, what he did, saying this is fake as
bleep.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts?
Well, and as much as I always hate to take any sort of MMA opinion from Joe Rogan, but he did mention that there was a lot of what seemed to be ear to mouth time when it looked like they weren't necessarily fighting, they were communicating to each other. I can't put my finger on it, but something doesn't smell right. It just doesn't, something's weird about that fight. And the whole the promotion as a whole, I give Bellator credit for what they did. I mean, as far as putting on a production, there were people out there that loved it. To me, it seemed more like a pay-per-view wrestling event, like the WWE, whatever they call it. It just didn't feel right the whole time.
But Scott Coker, obviously, he's very good at what he does with promotion. What did you think about the fight, and do you feel something was up?
It looks like something's up. I heard someone's opinion. Bellator would have to be crazy to let them do something, risk their promoting license. For Scott Coker to risk everything he's built, hey, I'm just going to come in after a couple events and we're going to put together a rigged fight. Rigged or not, the eyes were there. All the the professional responses were, this fight's not going to be good. 2.1 million people didn't care. They still tuned in.
Truth.
this fight, even if it was rigged or wasn't going any better, did it look funny? Did that Roman clinch look funny? Did that takedown look funny? Did getting out of that choke look funny? Did
the fact that he
Ken
didn't
not getting
finish
back
it,
in on a
yeah.
takedown and just eating punches look funny? Oh, it all looked funny, but they'd have to be idiots to actually rig it.
We'll see.
One of the interesting theories that I heard as well is that there may have been some sort of agreement between the two fighters. Maybe the promotion wasn't involved, but that there was an agreement that the fight would be extended or made more interesting. And then Kimbo just said, you know,
I'm going to do what I do and punch people in the face.
yeah, and then game over.
Yeah. Let's jump right into the next topic. This is about a guy who's been retired for a very long time. Oscar De La Hoya has been on social media, you know, talking up a possible comeback, saying, you know, I'll fight Floyd Mayweather. The guy's in impeccable shape. He's in great shape right now, but I know those endorphins just get you, you know, a ton of
He's got to
confidence.
fit into women's clothing.
But-
He's got to stay in good shape.
Come on. So what
Somebody had to do it.
Yeah. What do you think about a potential return here for Oscar De La Hoya? Do you want to see it?
No, I don't want to see Evander Holyfield fight anymore. I don't want to see Oscar De La Hoya
Even if it is
fight anymore.
Romney, the way he fought?
Oh, well, that's a little different. That's a little more political based. But no, I mean, and Floyd, I think it was gamesmanship, obviously, for Floyd to come out and say if Oscar really wants a shot. I mean, that would be a gift to Floyd Mayweather if he's trying to get to those 50 wins for Oscar to try to fight him. You know, but granted, he's talked about, hey, as a fighter, you always still have that desire. Brett Favre, every 18 months says, hey, I think about maybe playing football again. Herschel Walker made a comment on, I believe, social media last week saying he was considering a return to the NFL. Herschel Walker's 51 years old. I mean, I don't think anybody wants to see it, but it's fun to listen to and it's fun to read.
Yeah. What do you think?
Didn't we hear a rumor last week, Mike Tyson and James Toney? It's boxing. Anything is possible. I was looking up Bernard Hopkins. I was like 50 and still going, fought like 8 months ago.
I mean, he's good, though.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's boxing, it's fighting. You never really retire. Tito Ortiz, how many times does he retire? You don't retire in fighting until I guess you're really committed to it. I was surprised just because I thought Golden Boy Promotions was doing well. Saw them on Fox Sports for a while. Didn't know he would have that, hankering to compete again, considering he was so actively busy as a promoter.
Yeah, it's strange.
Maybe that's what he was doing.
Yeah, it's very strange that he has that itch to actually return. But here's the crazy thing about it. If him and Mayweather fight, it'll probably sell 1 million pay-per-views,
if not more.
And that is crazy to actually think. But we'll see.
Well, and you would be one of them.
I don't know if I would.
Come on, Jorge.
I don't know
We
if I would,
you
man. I mean, I've ordered every Mayweather fight.
I'm not doing it, so I'm going to your house.
I've ordered every Mayweather fight ever. Even the Carlos Baldomir fight I ordered, 10 years ago. But nonetheless, that'll do it for this week's show. Make sure to catch us next week against Facebook, Combat Sports Weekly. We'll catch you guys next week.